Hello everyone, and welcome back to another turn resolution of War in the Pacific Admirals edition. We're on October 11, 1942 now. So I've seen this because this was something I did through while I was on vacation. This is terrible here because we have undefended cargo ships. Now, the reason I have undefended cargo ships is because I thought whatever ships he had here had left the area to escort his damaged ships out. And I'm not sure what the composition here is, if he already had this built out ready to go, or if it was he broke them off of the task forces and combined them and sent them up. But needless to say, I made a grave error and left these transports here. Now, how far would I have made it? I don't know, maybe not very far. But in any case, I'm gonna knock this out because spoiler alert, they none of them make it. I think they make it this round. Some of them make it this round, but I mean, what are you gonna do, right? See, like, this guy got one shell hit. Most of them are destroyed, all sunk outright. But we have some survivors, but they're not going to last either. See, we're withdrawing, but they're going to be chased down. Okay, the whale here has a dud hit this tanker here in the Sea of Okhotsk. Anyway, while this was a bad turn, mostly again on my shoulders and on my head, all on my head. The last couple, well, I'm not gonna say anymore, but you know, we decided the war must go on, and here we are defending Mandalay, a night bombing with these Helens. See if we can survive that, and we do with no apparent damage. We have Blenheims flying. Oh, what are we hitting? Oh, we're hitting he was hitting Mandalay night raid. We're hitting Tungu night raid. Okay, here we're trying. Okay, he has no aircraft that I know of at this base. We're just trying to beat up the base so he can't build fortifications. Now, we're also trying to hit his supply stockpiles. We've got equivalent of B-24s coming in, British variety, and we do get one runway hit at Pegu, and some actual B-24s, American Air Force. I think at some point what's going to happen is I'm going to feel more comfortable with Rangoon, and then we're going to start doing active sweeps out and really clear these with daylight bombings. In any case, what you're going to see here is a lot of night bombing, and the day bombing right now is happening in the South Pacific and Southwest Pacific. This is where we're doing night raids. Alright, the ISIS, okay, yeah, we lost the cargo ship. The ISIS, which is a survivor of an earlier ship-to-ship combat by Molmine, right now is limping away, trying to make it back to a place where it can repair. Right now it's heading straight to Akyab to park, because hopefully we can put the fires out and then start recovering the damage. See, these are the survivors, but they get caught up with. So this is why I'm not sure if I had left Rangoon how far I would have gotten, because he just chased these guys down anyways outside of Rangoon, and it looks like they're just I think it's outside of Rangoon, yeah. So if I would have run out like this, he would have caught me coming in anyway, I think. So leaving them here might not have been the worst decision I've ever made. Alright, we do get 1 torpedo, 2 torpedoes into this cargo ship. Let's see if we can sink it. And we do. So there's a consolation prize, and here it looks like the Kazan Maru. This Dutch sub just cannot hit, but we do get one in finally. Critical damage. Actually, it looks like we're firing on the surface. Okay, we get a second torpedo. So I think that one should sink. Plus we got some... Oh no, I thought we got some shell hits on it, but we didn't. But 3 torpedoes should sink that, and it goes down. I think it was a little overkill, but it's better to be safe than sorry, right? 2 cargo ships by 1 Dutch sub. Alright, here we are with air activity. Okay. Just, I don't know. Okay. Look at all these Tojos. So we're trying to cap Tungu, protect our Chinese units, but he comes in with extra air assets to try to pave the way for his sallies. This may be a while, and yeah, I'm gonna knock this out. And it looks like we got pretty well trashed. He does lose 4 sallies, it looks like. Maybe, flak. But, and I don't know. He comes in with Tojos and Nicks, and as he's leaving, he's got Tojos and Oscars. I think the Oscars are sitting here in long range cap, maybe. But yeah, we don't come out with a good trade on this one. 3 to 1. Now, I'm not saying that's actual 3 or actual 1, but plus this is 8 damaged. I'm not sure if you can take damage. Maybe the reason he had 21 and not 25 has nothing to do with flak. Maybe it just has to do with 4 of them got out of range of our fighters before we could do the post-bombing fight. Anyway, moving on. Ans are bombing Wenchao, and then here he is. Here he's trying to hit our ground troops. We do have in this hex, and he's low enough, I think we're going to do some damage to him here. We got some 40 millimeter anti-aircraft firing up at these guys. Let's see how we do. We were able to destroy 1 Lily, a lot of damage in on the other aircraft, and we take light losses. The biggest concern of mine would be disruption and fatigue. Okay, this was a mistake, like just outright silly error on my part. So I had these Vengeances parked here at Magway. They had bombed earlier, and then this bombing mission was because I inadvertently, while I told the group to pull in replacements, I forgot to take them off that ground bombing, and that hurts so bad. This is not 3, it's 8, and it's just so frustrating because I could have saved 8 aircraft and who knows how many pilots. So I'm upset at myself for that. So okay, here we're hitting Horn Island with these shorter range aircraft, I believe operating right here out of Portland Roads. So this is going to be a nice air base because it's close range to a lot of stuff. So our twin engine bombers can actually be useful in this campaign up here. And yeah, right now we're just hitting these 3 bases. One of the reasons I'm hitting, actually 4 bases. One of the reasons I'm hitting all these bases is at the same time is to keep him guessing which one I'm gonna invade. And honestly, while I'm going to invade one of them, I'm not sure which one. Probably not Buna. That would require us to come around like this, which would put us in even greater danger than straight across to Port Moresby. But I think I'm going to come into Milne Bay. But I haven't like solidified right now. Again, and I kind of recap this I think every time. Looks like we caught an Oscar. Maybe it was damaged and still parked here, but we destroy it there. Part of the reason I'm not pulling the trigger on anything isn't necessarily my indecisiveness. It's the fact that I don't have my carriers ready yet. Okay, we're starting to bomb Shortlands here to see what we can do. And it looks like we can shoot down some of his fighters, or at least damage them as they encounter us. Maybe get some ops losses there, beat up the base, and maybe damage some aircraft on the ground. It looks like all three fortresses get in. This makes me nervous though, because when these zeros are bound to get something, and so I'm not doing this lightly, or I'm not going in ignorantly assuming my bombers are invincible. This still makes me uncomfortable. I'm just doing it because I think I don't want to night bomb Shortlands, because that's a long ways away from home base, and maybe I will when the moonlight is greater. I just don't want to sit there and fly so far in the dark and have high ops losses. I'm not sure how that works, but I'm willing to role play it as, yeah, I wouldn't be doing that probably. I mean, maybe they did historically. I don't know much about the history of the air war over the Pacific as it pertains to this period of the war with heavy bombers. Yeah, likewise, I'm reconning several bases in the Central Pacific, because they're by the Gilberts, because I want to keep him guessing there as well. Now, let's see. Because there was some decent air-to-air action after the land, and then, the turn basically comes to a close, I will spend a minute, hopefully not much longer than that, just going over some losses. And also we can look at the ship losses, which we know we're going to have, the Allies are going to have several cargo ships sunk, and the Japanese will have 2. Okay, we're bombarding up here. I probably mention this every time, mainly to keep the supply force him to keep using his supplies, use them up. Now, he did get that AF unit into the hex, which means he opened the hex side that will basically carry supplies all the way from Pegu up to Tungu, but I intend to close it back up. Now, how long will it take before I close it back up? I don't know, but I do have units moving to make that happen. It's just slow because it's jungle hex to jungle hex with no roads, and so it's very frustrating. Alright, we're at the scene of the crime, or near it, and, well, looking here, 14 to 7, so basically we lost 2 to his 1, and that's not a good day, in my opinion. Okay, but let's take a look. So he loses 2 Nicks in air-to-air combat, 1 Lily to flak, 1 Tojo for ops, flying those long range, or not necessarily long range, but certainly either escort missions or long range cap. Oscar 1 on the ground there at Buna, 1 Jake who knows where, and 1 0 who knows where. This could be flying cover over Shortlands, so that's the thing. Went too far south. I'm gonna just briefly say this shows he has 1 fighter left and 7 auxiliary, but he's probably flying cap from Rabal, so that's going to cause his pilots to be tired and have ops losses. How many pilots do we lose? Way too. Oh, so I didn't get to my losses. We would have had, let's look at this, 7 to 14. We would have had only 6, but the folly of the Vengeance 1's going is just too much. Just I don't know. It's just too hard to talk about because it's 100% unavoidable. We've lost 16 of these things due to unavoidable missions. I mean, I should have canceled both days, but certainly the second day after knowing that he was going to wreck my bomber force. We do lose 2 Hurricanes, 2 Cs. We also lose a Hurricane 1. I know these are not necessarily frontline fighters anymore, but they do have the longer range, longer 6 hex range for cap purposes or sweep. So I'm still using them for better or for worse. We lose a DC-3 to ops, but you can see here a Mohawk in air-to-air, a P-40E in ops. So that's that. And then we'll just quickly look here. Last turn, I don't know why I did that. So these 2 cargo ships were 7 each, and we lost several worth 7 each, and then a couple other miscellaneous. Not a good day. All right. That said, let's jump into October 12th. Okay, we're back here. This is October 12th. Just wrapped up, of course, the 11th. Let's see if we can do better in all phases, all 3 phases here. Of course, the Nepal is going to go down from that. I'm telling you, the luck he has with these subs against my nimble ships is just absurd. I think that's one of the things that's been frustrating me this campaign is his ability to fire a torpedo into any of these tiny nimble ships, and I can miss the biggest ship in the on the map, just complete the biggest slowest ship on the map. It's just well, especially the British subs should be better. The American subs I get, they're new to the war. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. More night raids. The Moonlight is not that great, but this is just trying to keep his fighters occupied and to keep these bases damaged. I'm not comfortable yet doing a day raid, but like I say, with Mandalay operational and Akyab building up in Rangoon, I think I should be able to start doing day missions soon. Also, spoiler alert, I've been working on my fighter squadrons, trying to get the pilots. I had some assistance in Discord, particularly from Evoken, and I hope I didn't mispronounce that, but anyway, and had some ideas about what to do with my fighter groups, and especially in this area I replaced a lot of my pilots who had good air-to-air value, but their defensive value was low. therefore they were more susceptible to being shot down. Even though they were good air-to-air, they weren't good at not... Oh, look. Got some hits on Pegu here. Just not the best at avoiding loss, getting shot down. So I've replaced a lot of the frontline fighters, and I've also reallocated the pilots that I pulled back to train in defensiveness, which, for those who aren't aware, that's basically sweeps, and this is, I'm not sure who taught me this, but that's low level, like I want to say like 100. Watch this. Okay. Like 100 feet up. Basically, you train them in sweep or escort. I think is safe, and you train them in a low level, like 100 feet, and they'll build up not only the sweep stat, but they'll build up defensiveness quite a bit. So that's what I'm doing. I'm pulling these pilots from the front line to the rear to train them more in defensiveness. And all the high defensiveness pilots that I've put into positions, that were in the reserve, I've pulled them and put them in the front line. Hopefully that shows quickly in the air-to-air casualties. But likewise, as I'm rambling about this, the point I'm trying to make, see this? Miss. The point I'm making with all this is to say I will probably be able to start sweeps again soon, and maybe start having an impact on day raids. I guess, yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, these sub crews should be half decent by now. I mean, I'm not even firing duds. I'm just completely missing. I mean, if you're close enough to fire with your 3-inch gun and hit, how are you missing with torpedoes? That's sad. Alright, moving on. So, my opponent and I were emailing back and forth about how we both feel like our subs are failing and the opponent's subs are succeeding. I don't understand where he's coming from, because maybe he's not sinking a lot of my cargo ships, but man, he's knocking out my ASW left and right. And I, on the other hand, am not getting much of anything. Now, maybe it's recency, how does it go? Recency bias? I don't know. But I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, I don't understand. The British subs have been useless. I guess my Dutch subs have. Probably my Dutch subs are the best so far this game. Alright, I have not changed the pilots as of this period in the game. I think I do after this turn. So this is not a good turn, although all he has is nicks. They're better against bombers. Not sure why they're here escorting bombers, but I've never played the Japanese, so I don't know. But let's see how we can do. He has 24, 21. Let's see how many we shoot down. Oh, several. Alright, but he still gets in. Let's see if we disrupted his bombing run enough. Alright, look at this. Supposedly no allied losses. That's good. We do take a little bit of damage, more than I'd like. What I'd like is 0. But he loses several bombers. Now, these numbers are not accurate, and probably this as well, but we'll take it. Yeah, we're hitting the port too because, you know, to keep the damage piled up between the air and the port, but airfield and port, but also to minimize his ability to unload supplies. Check that out. 35 zeros are going to be trying to chase us down. So let's look at this. 4 and 6. Let's see how many of these bombers get through. I'm not going to sit here and go through the whole thing, but 10 total bombers. Let's see what happens at the end. Yeah. So we lose one outright, and who knows if we lose some on the way back. But you see that we're destroying some aircraft. That's always nice. We destroy 1-0 in the air-to-air battle, 1-0 on the ground. But we lose outright a B-17E. And by the way, we got only 3. Let's see if they can make it. Okay. By the way, we will be getting no more B-17s until 45. Because from now on we're going to be stuck with our B-24s. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I like B-24s, but the B-17s seem sturdier. But we'll have to suck it up and use what we have. No, I'm not going to complain. B-24s are still pretty good. What I'll do is I'll upgrade to B-24s when I can, and as B-17s are freed up by the upgrade to B-24s, I'll allocate them to the appropriate squadrons, and we'll keep flying B-17s until we have no more to fly, and we'll be probably outfitted with all B-24s by then. Alright, moving on to this. Alright, yeah, we're taking some serious hits here. Yeah, our B-17 forces are going to Europe, and the Pacific is stuck with the B-24s. I believe they sent B-24s to the European theater as well, but certainly all the B-17s from now on are allocated there. Check this out. That's pretty good damage to the base. Now, and I think I saw that we destroyed yet another Oscar on the ground. Now you may wonder, I don't know if you're wondering anything or not, but why we're still hitting Buna. Somehow he's repairing these bases enough that I feel like I need to keep hitting it. So that's what we're doing, and keeping some kind of rotation. Looks like Milne Bay, and probably because we have to bomb from higher, he has flak there, pretty good flak. We're trying to fly higher, and we're not damaging the base as much. Alright, these bombardments, okay, so he loses a vehicle. The usual bombardment stuff going on, including our own, is going to be coming up, but in the meantime, yeah. Alright, that's that. We'll take a look around the map and see what's going on after this resolves here. Looks like the only upgrade was Port Hedland with forts, which I don't think isn't necessary anymore. Okay, some upgrades. These are because I want to go ahead and keep them maxed out with their upgrades as much as possible, because as we continue to supply, if they run into aircraft, they can be in a better position to defend themselves. Because most of that is anti-aircraft upgrades and so forth. Okay. A couple of reinforcement things. All right, let's look here first. So we have 6, 10 to, wow, 29. I think if I counted that correctly, 10 to 29. These are much preferred. Like when we flip-flop what we did 14 to 7, and now we do 10 to 29. Yeah, that's a lot better. I prefer those. Okay, now let's look at the Japanese. As usual, there's a discrepancy here, 31 to 29. You know, whatever causes that. But if we look here, he loses like 11 lilies, 10 to air, so those were just shredded there over over Burma, north of Pegu. Sally's, he does lose 5, 4 to air, and 1 to ops, and 4 nicks, so he loses quite a bit up there in Burma. We did knock out 4 Oscars on the ground. That's again always nice. Tojo's, he loses 2, 1 on the ground and 1 to ops. I think actually one of these Oscars, at least 1 or 2, and this Tojo was there at Pegu. 2 Bettys to ops, 2 zeros, 1 in air-to-air combat, probably over short lens, and 1 on the ground. Yeah, I can't remember which one that... Oh, I think that was at Shortlands also. And 1 Nate to ops. So he's still flying those Nates, as you can see in a lot of those combats. So, especially over Burma, trying to do night fighting. Okay, now our 10 losses. This is not good. I just mentioned we don't get these anymore. So losing these 5 is kind of devastating. We lose 2 Blenheims, 1 in air-to-air, so in the night fighting, we actually lost them, and then 1 probably crashing on the way back. P-40E, 1 on the ground. Where was that? Maybe. Oh, it was short bombardment at Rangoon. 1 C-47, probably flying from Ledo. And then we got a B-24 outright shot down over Shortlands. So this is not a good day. I mean, the ratio is fine, but these are not easily replaced. So that's these aren't at all, and then these are slow enough that I don't like to lose any. All right, looking at pilots, fortunately we don't lose too many. One is too many, but at the same time, it could have been worse. Out of 10 losses, we lose basically half of them, which that's not the greatest ratio. Okay, ship sunk last turn. We do lose this destroyer because Japanese subs, and that's that. I don't think we even hit him. Oh, well, we did that one where we, the Sea Raven, I think it was, got out the 3-inch gun and did a little bit of firing, but I don't think even though it was, I think, a light cargo ship, it's probably barely damaged. All right, moving on. Oops. So let's go back over here. There's not much to talk about right now. No activity on his end in this area anyway. As we can see, he has 2 units here. This would be easily swept aside. This is just one of those things where when I pull the trigger, I kind of want to know where KB is, because while I'm unloading here, I don't want it to do a quick, like, let's look at this for a second. Just pick a spot. 21. Let's say here. If he's parked at truck, let's just say, I don't know, maybe Rabal, but it's about the same, right? And almost. Wherever he is between these two, and who knows, he could be in a totally different spot. He could do high speed run, flank speed here, and then one more turn be in range of bombing us. So basically it would be 2 days. So as soon as I come up here to invade Tarawa, in 2 days he could be hitting my ships that are still unloading troops. I don't like the odds there. But having said that, what I might do is load up my amphibious task force. These guys are still planning though, so they're still low. Well, particularly the invasion, the actual attack troops are fairly low readiness on the target. We do have a TD battalion getting ready to go in. Why haven't I rebuilt this unit? Okay, the 3rd Division. Okay, so I need to do that. But look at this 80. Let's look at this. I do have one more day to run that I played through on my vacation. That one more day to run that before I can tinker with these settings. But yeah, let me think about preparing an amphibious invasion. Start driving up here, maybe hang out at Funafuti or Vaitupu as we start heading north. Just kind of hunker down in these dot bases. Make sure we're not going to just kind of ease up here. We do have, look at this, see? We have our eyes way out here. So if he has a carrier in the area lurking, we should be able to see before it gets too close. So maybe this is something to look into. Now, he does have Bettys and things to hit us. Maybe actually... okay, I think I know... Look at this. I have 9 detection at Abamama. So, if you look here, down here at Numea, I've got... nope. No, it is now. Okay, so they get there in the next turn or something. We're here loading raiders for more fast transport action. I'll bring them up here and take Abamama, and then we can build that base up quickly, much like we did here at Tabataoea. And then the thought is our fighters can't cover Tarawa. But if they were based here at Abamama, they could cover Tarawa. Because he has Bettys somewhere up here. And that means that he could bomb or torpedo our ships as they're unloading here. And I don't have any fighter cover whatsoever in this area. Well, I mean, I have fighters like right here. But see the distance, 6? Well, let's see. These buffaloes can fly 6, so maybe I could fly long range right here. Wear them out though, that's the problem. It would only be one day's worth of cover and then they'd be worthless. So I don't know what he's doing up here. He might be reinforcing, knowing we're slowly moving up this chain. But yeah, I've got my eyeballs here. Let me get my amphibious units ready, start heading up, get my fast transport ready, come toward Abamama while our amphibious group is coming toward Tarawa. And at some point, as they're getting closer, like in this area, just make sure we're on track. And I do have battleships here, so what I'll do is I'll also ease them, maybe head them to Tabataoea Park, and then they can launch up here, hit this, or I could set in one of these dot bases and then launch, quickly bombard, and then return. Anyway, I've got options, but yeah, let's go ahead and pull the trigger. This looks small enough, I should be able to take it out. Plus, when I bombard, I'll get an even better idea of what I have to work with. Okay. So we have a few days before that's going to happen, but that's going to be my next push. Okay. So South Pacific, what do we have going on here? Well, I did get some interesting advice from a normally Japanese player, also on Discord, from Lodric, about using if he doesn't mind me referencing his name, about getting some fast or light bombardment groups going and hitting some of these bases where he does have air units here. Now, here's the problem. I don't know what he's got here as far as mines. So I thought I had is to gather some destroyer minesweepers together and do some runs up here, bombard lightly with the destroyer minesweepers, because then if they come in here and they run into mines, I'll know about it. And if they don't, shortly behind will come a cruiser task force that can do kind of a quick run. If I do max speed, let's say, they could come in from, I don't know, maybe even this far away. So I could have them just parked right here outside of his torpedo bomber's range. Maybe he could spot me. But do a high-speed run, hit it, and I don't know how far they would be back, out of there. But destroy the base, the airfield. See that airfield damage 28? Do significantly more than that, and maybe destroy some fighters. That would allow me to get in here and bomb even more successfully. He may still have decent fighters parked here to long-range cap, but that would eliminate this as a base to cap from. So things are about to get interesting in the South Pacific. I need to work on this, and if I can neutralize Shortlands, I'm gonna come in here soon to Lunga. I think I'm gonna hit this base because he has a lot of stuff here. I think not a division, but at least like a brigade size. I'd like to take this because it looks somewhat safe. Take this, build it up like I've been doing relatively quickly, like I've been doing in other parts of the map. Put up some air units here, and then, neutralize all this and help keep these pinned down and start getting into there. Look, this is like a brigade level, maybe not quite a division, but he does have 6 units, so maybe a couple regiments and some engineers and things. Anyway, so things are about to get interesting. Maybe by November, mid-November, we'll be able to strike. Got some carriers upgrading, and then we should be ready to go. So yeah, those are some certainly some plans that I'm ready to pull the trigger on. Okay. Then as we move up the map to Burma, the carrier Illustrious is leaving with escorting the Hermes. But what I'm going to do, and this has already happened, but I'm going to come back over here and give this some air cover, because this is my battleship group that's going to come in here and bombard Pegu. Now, he has several fighters here, but that's from old recon. I don't know where they are right now. They might be in Mulmine. They might have withdrawn to another base, Chiang Mai. They may still be there. I'm not going to give away anything, but the goal is to hit this, and I want to cover it before he destroys them. But this, and then this Dutch task force is going to meet with these cargo ships. Look at all that cargo, and they're going to come in here and try to unload at Rangoon. Is that going to be dangerous? Well, of course it is, but we got to do it. And I've got some troops moving, as I was describing, to go here so we can cut this line back off, and then I'm going to also close this, and I'm going to put more pressure on him. We've got the British 2nd Division coming in here very soon, and then we'll do another attack here and see if we can knock him out of this hex. I don't know that we can. It may be foolish, but I'm going to try. And I may even be willing to say, okay, all fighters, sweep this, all bombers hit it even daytime, and we'll just suck it up and hope for the best. But that's at least 2 days away from happening. But see these ships that were damaged in this area, doing some ship-to-ship combat and whatnot. They're finally getting back to repair. But here's the ISIS. Look at the condition. Pardon the noise, but and I can back out to look at it here. But look, the fire is still 29. I don't know if I can save this, but here's the thing. It's only worth 6 points. So I'm not going to scuttle it just to save victory points. I'm going to see if we can get that fire out. And the inconstant is here. It has very little major damage. I think parked here for a little while we can repair. Here's the thing. It's going to take a long time. I can't remember if I flip this to pure side. Anyway, not in this turn, of course. Or not right this second. Because I think it just disbanded. What I was going to say is we can certainly do some pure side repairs, 26 days, and then get it to a shipyard or something to finish it, or a repair ship, whichever. But yeah, we do have, I don't know that it helps, but we do have naval support here. I don't know how that helps in the let's see here. Trying to remember where I saw the repair points of the base. Repair points 9, so it's not a lot, and I don't know. Anyway, maybe this isn't the place to have dropped the ISIS, but I just didn't know that it would make it all the way back to Calcutta anyway. And besides, again, until you put fires out, it doesn't matter. So I'm not 100% sure if moving it anywhere would have mattered anyway. See, there's 127 repair points here. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let me just say that I'm still got stuff shuffling around here. I'm trying to get some artillery into this hex so I can do more damage, more significant damage here. I finally got a battalion here in case he crosses the river and shock attacks. But meanwhile, I'm bringing this reconnaissance regiment. It's moving about a hex a day, so hopefully it can get down here and do some significant damage to wherever this unit ends up. We can hit it and knock it back out of position. But also the road is clear. See? He moved away, so the road is clear for supplies to come down into Rangoon. I just don't know exactly where the supplies are. If there's a little truck, electronic truck somewhere, a digital dot on the map that represents it, and if it was stopped up because he was positioned here, and then now it's going to keep going, or if it turned around, or how it works. But I really need to get supplies into Rangoon, as well as supplies up these roads into this area too. And I think we'll start seeing improvements. I just need to finish this guy off, get rid of him, because until he's eliminated, he could come back here and block some of this stuff again. Certainly he could move here and block, and that would block the Burma road. But as soon as this reconnaissance regiment gets down here, I'm probably going to move it one more hex down and park it here to block him from crossing here. He's probably going to cross here now that he sees us here. Anyway, I'm done talking about that. I think you can see how it looks on the map. And again, I can't show you right now because I wouldn't have done it yet. But, well, you can look here. I've got decent pilots here, but you can see it fade off quickly down to 56. But some of these are way worse. Even these P-40Ks, I have terrible pilots. You can see 60s, but it goes all the way down to 40s. So all these pilots get replaced, and we should have a better fighter force to hopefully come in here, sweep, and just bomb this heavily to really allow us to do an attack and have this fatigued and disrupted and successfully clear the hex. Anyway, that's enough for me. We all know China's in a bad place, in a precarious place. I do have a corps coming down this road, and they're going to arrive here next turn. They're going to do an attack, and then I'm going to continue driving down this road, I think. Maybe split it up and drive down this road and try to get down here to Pautau. I'm not sure how it's going to work. I may just move into this hex and kind of get an idea of what he has after we get here. But the hope is to knock this out of position and get in here and do some stuff behind his lines. Maybe maybe even just say, forget it, I'm going to go full guerrilla mode and get into places like this. And if I'm out of supply, I'm out of supply. But he's going to have a hard time supplying his troops when this railroad is occupied. Maybe this one, stuff like that. He does have bombers that he's hitting us with, but he can't. It's hard to fully destroy a unit with just bombers. But anyway, that's enough for me. I've covered the things that I think are most important right now, and we'll jump into October 13 turn resolution next time, and we'll see if the air war over Burma gets better with our pilots improving or not. We'll talk to you next time. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.